Alrighty, welcome back, guildmates. We are jumping into this month's chapter 107 of Attack on Titan. And let's just go ahead and jump into it. There's going to be a lot of pages. There are 46 pages to go through because it's a monthly chapter. So let's just jump into it.
Chapter 107, Visitor. What will Hange say to Eren, who has returned home after running away?
What are you doing? You were looking at the mirror and talking to yourself, weren't you? Okay. That's... You looked at your own reflection and talked to yourself saying, keep fighting, keep fighting. Is that right? You said to yourself, keep fighting, not just once, but twice. What is it that you're fighting, Eren? Does the fact that you said it twice mean there's going to be a second round of all this? You do realize that if you don't talk to me, I won't be able to understand, right? Because I don't think it's a normal thing to do, standing around talking to yourself. Makes me wonder what's going on with you. You know? You see, I've never talked to my own reflection in the mirror, so I just don't get it. But I really like what you did with your hair. It's just the right degree of messy. It's like you did your best to make it look like you had no effort, but it's clear that you worked really hard to get that look. Why have you come here, Hange? What do you mean? I've come here to talk to you. The first time we met, we spent the whole night talking about Titans, remember? Although, I was the one doing all of the talking. You listened. I knew you would never agree to sacrifice Astoria. That day 2 years ago, the day of the welcome ceremony at the port. I haven't seen you since that day you lifted our ship out of the sea. Nice to see you again. You're still not allowed to touch him. Letting you see him is more than enough. That's plenty for me. Today we should celebrate. It's the first time we're welcoming a foreign official since the harbor was completed. They're from the land of Hizuru, the only country to ally with Paradise Island. The name of this special envoy we are welcoming is Kiyomi Azumabito. The Azumabito family has strong historical ties with other countries. Because of this, they have a great deal of influence on foreign affairs in their country. She is the head of this family. That person. Her features are similar to those of your mother, aren't they? As I told you. And her are related by blood. Do you recognize this family crest? This is... Show her, Mikasa. But my mom said to keep it a secret. You showed it to me when we were kids, didn't you? She probably asked you to keep it a secret just in case you get a chance like today. Come on. This mark has been passed on for generations in my late mother's family. I have been told to pass it on to my own child when the time comes as well. What a noble deed. About 100 years ago, the land of Hizuru was an ally of the Eldian Empire. The son of the next shogun of the nation, an ancestor of the Azumabito family, had become close friends with the Fritz royal family and came to stay on Paradise Island. Then, after the Big Titan War, Hizuru became a defeated nation and lost its favorable position, and the disorder that ensued, well, no one knows for sure what happened, but the descendants of the Shogun family were left behind here on this very island, and now, more than 100 years later, I get to meet the only person still carrying the blood of the Orient on this island. You are the descendant of our country's lost leader, the hope of the land of Hizuru. If what the Azumabito say is true, the Mikasa can have the political influence of an Azumabito in Hizuru? I don't know. Isn't she the descendant of their country's most distinguished noble family? I still don't really understand what you mean when you say country. At any rate, if we can use this to get Hizuru on our side, then so be it. Wait, what if this is a trap set by our enemies? Like I thought, we have to ask Yelena and the others for their opinion. That's exactly what the enemy wants us to do. There is one thing we know for sure. When it comes to matters regarding the world, That's on the other side of the sea. We are nothing but children, gingerly taking our first steps. For now, we have no choice but to quiet down and just listen. We should get back. It's embarrassing to make our guest wait for so long. Hey, Mikasa, the only one who got to see that symbol on your arm? Huh? Why is Aaron? Oh, you didn't show that bandage to anyone. That's just seem happy for some reason. I am happy. Mikasa and I, we were both burdened with a very heavy load just by being born. If Mikasa and I are this alike, then there is no one else I can trust more than her in the entire world. We are all very honored and grateful to be in your presence, and to see that your highness is in good health. At this time, please just allow me to say that the people of Azumabito will always be waiting for you, your highness. I understand. This day is a historical day for both nations. We are all sitting here together, thanks to one man, the same man who arranged this whole event. It came to our attention that there is a descendant of the Shogun's family on Paradise Island, and we set up a meeting with Zeke Yeager, the source of this information. In return for giving us the means to meet you, your highness, we agreed to pass on the details of a certain arrangement. My mother is a survivor of the Fritz royal family, which means I also carry royal blood in my veins. I have kept this fact hidden from the Marleyan army, and been employed by them as the head of the warrior squad. Why would a soldier so loyal to Marley do such a thing? Growing up, I came to understand my father's feelings, and now I carry on his ideals myself. I am a member of the true Eldian Restoration movement. But you... Yes, I sold my parents out to the Marleyans. When I was 7 years old, I learned that the Marleyan authorities had already found evidence of the restoration movement led by my father. I knew that I had to do something, or else they wouldn't have just sent my parents to Paradise, but my grandparents and myself along with them. That's when I decided to act and sold my parents to Marley. My parents were right, but they were naive. To restore Eldia to its former glory, that plague group full of self-righteous, pompous men would have never been enough. Even after I turned my back on my parents and gained rank in the Marleyan army, I crushed the island of Paradis under my feet and killed countless Eldians, the same Eldians I wanted to save. If Marley had succeeded in taking back the original Titan, it would have been a means for me to restore the Eldian nation. After all, the Marleyan army did not know that I possessed royal blood. Marley does not know what can happen when a Titan with royal blood comes into contact with the original Titan, and you, your homeland, is still. As you know, we are indeed very much interested in finding this descendant of the shogunate family. But a restoration of the Eldian Empire will pose a great threat to the entire world. This is a fact we cannot ignore. We might be forced to inform Marley of this little meeting. It's very unfortunate, but even if we all die here, the result will be the same. Of course, I'm very well aware of that, Miss Kiyomi. We will not be able to materialize this agreement if there is no gain in it, not just for the Azumabito family, but for the land of Hizuru as well. First, please have a look at this. Here we go. Is that... You know of this item? It's highly classified, even in Marley itself. This is a weapon developed on Paradise Island for the sole purpose of killing Titans. It is called 3D maneuver gear. This isn't something I have stolen from the Marleyan army. I've taken it from the island myself, so do not worry. I will hand this over to you, but in order to use it, you will need a special kind of fuel. They call it an ice blast stone. It's a natural resource found underground that has yet to be discovered or mined anywhere but on Paradise Island. There have been rumors of its existence for a long time. Many years ago, the king of the Titans dug a huge hole on Paradise Island, and there he stored a treasure, rocks created by the power of the Titans that could burn and give light. Although it's not much, there are still remains of this ice blast stone inside this weapon as well. The people of Paradise Island are probably not aware of the true value of this natural resource, but I'm sure your country is. This information should be helpful in creating an alliance between Paradise Island and the land of Hizuru. So he suggested that in exchange for cooperating with his plan to come here to the island, he would help us get our hands on these resources that could help our struggling country to regain its status as the empire it once was. That was his plan. We don't even know how big these underground deposits are. Still, if what he said is true, there are resources as precious as gold and silver in this age of modernization lying dormant below this island. But we're not here because our conglomerates have expanded their operations and require those resources, of course. Miss Kiyomi, here. Oh my, please excuse me. So I was just their excuse for coming here? Yelena did say that the negotiations will go well because the Azumabito have a nose for money. Just as I thought. If they don't profit from it, no other country would ever be interested in this island. So, what is the arrangement you discussed with Zeke Yeager? As you know, Zeke Yeager claims to have a secret plan. It seems that the involvement of Hizuru is necessary in executing this secret plan to save the Eldians and the world. The reason for this lies in one of the 3 conditions needed in order to effectively threaten the world with the earth-flattening weapon, which will protect this island from possible attacks. First, you need to test the weapon, exhibit just a small portion of that power so they will see how destructive it could be. The second part is where Hizuru comes in. We will help you in strengthening your military power so that it is on par with the rest of the world up until the point where the earth-flattening weapon is no longer needed. But this isn't about bringing in modern weapons. In order to build a modern army, you first need to establish a solid foundation of national strength. You need to provide the civilians with good education, build a strong economy, create diplomatic prowess, and also a growth in the population would be needed. This island is about 100 years behind the rest of the world in terms of development. We don't have 100 years to close that gap, but no matter what, I would say it would take at least 50. Which means you must have the earth-flattening weapon in order to protect the island against potential attacks for at least those 50 years. So the continued possession of both the original Titan and a Titan with royal blood are crucial. That is the 3rd condition. Zeke wants to pass on the power of the Beast Titan to someone of royal blood. And until their 13-year term is over, they will need to have as many children as possible. Huh? Holy crap! It will be over in 50 years, but no matter how many other weapons we develop, the earth-flattening weapon will always be the strongest. If we are not able to develop beyond that, then generation after generation of the royal family will be forced to live in fear of being eaten alive, going through the process of passing on the power again and again, just like the race family. They will pass it on from parent to child, again and again. Is it fair of us to subject her future children to this impossible situation, just to save ourselves here in the present? In the present? No, this can't be right. She will never allow it, but I understand. I will take on the power of the Beast Titan, the earth-flattening weapon, and is essential to our survival. We must obtain it. Historia! We didn't bring down the walls and win back our freedom just so we could live like livestock again, just to have children so they could die in order for us to keep on living. I cannot accept Zeke Yeager's plan. It's too dangerous to bet our lives on the chance that we're able to maintain control over the earth-flattening weapon. In the short time that we have left, shouldn't we explore all other options that might be on hand? Of course, there is no need to decide right away. We will carry on as well. An intermediate between you and Zeke Yeager is needed. We still haven't found another way. It's true that Zeke is running out of time and that Marley is coming up with a plan to invade Paradis. I wanted to feel as anxious about it as you did. But what I don't get is why you would leave the island to operate on your own, exposing the rest of us to great danger. Do you no longer care what happens to Historia? I have eaten the Warhammer Titan. What? I have made hardening material come out of the ground and controlled it freely, turning it into weapons and other things as it wanted. It was a tough opponent. I have its abilities now, so no matter how deep underground you can find me, it's pointless. I can get out of here whenever I want. And of course, you won't kill me because I possess the original Titan, and you can make as many threats as you'd like, but you can't kill Zeke either. So tell me, Commander Hange, what is it exactly that you can do? Tell me, Commander Hange, what other way is there? Tell me! Huh? Eren, you pervert! Still in your rebellious stage, I see, you idiot! Brat. Erwin, the biggest mistake you made was to pass the position of commander to me. Hey, you're from Marley, aren't you? Why? Why are you here? This is where Eldians who were murdered by your people were buried. Why would you come here? Please stop. We'll take care of him. Please stop. What are you doing here? Shit, why? Is Sasha really dead? Is she? Why? What were you guys doing? She was shot by a little girl who came aboard the Zeppelin? That's too stupid to be true. It was not just any little girl. She was well trained. A warrior squad candidate, huh? It's all my fault. I was too careless. I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing to me? I just cooked her food. You made her many delicious things to eat. Thank you, Niccolo. How about Connie? I was like a twin brother to her. I feel like half of me died along with her. You all seem to care a lot about my daughter. Oh, shit! That's Sasha's dad! Fuck! Excuse me, I'm a Marleyan POW. I have a working permit. Allow me to work as a cook. Your daughter always ate my food like it was the most delicious thing in the world, so if you don't mind, please come and eat my cooking as well. Of course. It'll be for free, right? Ah, sure. These are titanization formulas we've stolen from Marley. It's everything we've got, but they would be difficult to duplicate, since we weren't able to get our hands on the necessary equipment and materials, nor a proper titanization scientist. That's fine. This is plenty. I cannot express my gratitude. Despite our limited knowledge of the world, you lent us your strength and gave us hope. Doubting you volunteers would be an act of a devil. In these past 3 years, we have done all we can to prove that we are allies to the Eldians. It's a pity, although we introduced these weapons to your country, so you could use them to regain your freedom, you used them to threaten us instead. I apologize for this selfish request, but could you please shut your eyes against this momentary weakness of ours? We have no choice but to shackle Zeke down. I don't mind, Commander Pixis, because the day where we all sit at the same table eating our meals together will come very soon. You are not the only ones praying for that day to come. This is my hotel? Any complaints? I can't think of a place more suitable for scum like you. It's a very dense forest made up of trees as tall as 80 meters. It'll be difficult for you to get out of here alone, and you won't be able to get your hands on any boulders. We can't have you throwing stuff at us again, can we? Also, looks like you can have a bit of fun with your 3D maneuver gear here. This kind of forest is yet another thing you can only find here and nowhere else in the world. Isn't that right, Captain Levi? I want to show Gabby and Falco this magnificent piece of the natural world. What do you think? You seem to be worried about those brats all of a sudden. Whether they get to see this forest or not depends on how you behave, Beardo. Damn, Levi. Damn. Gabby! Hey, what's wrong? Hey, hold on! What's wrong? Hey, young lady. Are you okay? Started out of nowhere. I think she's in pain. Nope. Gabby, that's enough! Hurry up. And hide him under the bed. Damn it, we overdid it. And if we run away, where will we go? We're going to get killed. That guy was just worried about you. You can't trust those devils, Falco. We We can't trust Zeke anymore either. We can't trust anyone. Did you have a bad dream? It'd be nice if it was all just a dream, huh? Gabby and Falco, I heard them. Where are they? Who the fuck is that? Let's go inside, Historia. You have to take it easy.
The tragedy they are burdened with just for being born. The countdown for the next in line begins. To be continued in the next issue.
So she's basically just there to get impregnated. Wow, that's really shitty. I can understand why Aaron hates that plan. I don't have, like, there's so much stuff that I've got to do that I can't really sit back and just kind of read comments, even though I really want to. So post your comments about what you think about this chapter below. But there was a lot of information there. I'm just still trying to process it. There was a lot of flashback that I don't think I fully understand. So, guys, if you want to sit, I would really appreciate it if somebody would jump into the comments and kind of give me a breakdown on this chapter. Because I read it, but I think I may have missed pieces and didn't get stuff quite as well as I should have. Obviously, the part with Sasha's grave and her parents showing up, oh, that was a hell of an impact. That got my heartstrings. That was the first time that Attack on Titan really like Attack on Titan has shocked me, but it's never like really gotten me with a strong emotional impact. That part did. Holy shit. Rip Potato Girl. Yeah, and since that was a monthly chapter, I don't know if I'm gonna do a full review. So again, could you guys break it down for me in the chapter, and let's have a conversation in the comments. Remember, this is where the conversation starts. I just dub the manga, I read up a couple of comments, I give a couple of short quips about what I thought, and then the conversation continues. So please feel free to add to the conversation by jumping in there and letting me know what you guys thought in the comments below. I'll see you guys in Black Clover in just a moment.